Back with Lori from Purposely Unplugged. I'm Dave Scott. And today's show, let's get back to nature, Lori.
We've called this one moving forward. And one of the pictures you're going to share today, Dave, is that our calves have come to us. So it's such a blessing this time of year to have new calves and to integrate them in the practice as well.
And by that, let's talk a little bit. Well, we're on the subject of the calves and the cows. Let's talk about how they help your profession.
hmm I have a therapy cow that is very close to the cabin where I work in the woods, and she's very aware of all clients as they come and go. And she's always very well aware if she needs to work that day, meaning clients interact directly with her. Clients go in the pasture with her to pet her, to brush her, to hug her. And she's very, very interactive with clients.
We've had this conversation before, but I want to ask about the eyes. Why is it like horses and cows, their eyes, they just see through you? What is that?
It could be seeing through Dave. It could just be a connection. I mean, her connection is very real. I had a client yesterday who said, what's with that black and white one? I said, she's very aware of everything we're doing and she's very attuned to what I do. And Dave, I even signed to her. So I let her know whether she needs to work that day or whether I need to work that day and whether she can relax.
Now, do these cows charge you a lot? Are you taking advantage of it in a situation, Lori? No.
No, and in fact, only one session a day. She's made it very clear. She's only going to
Oh,
interact one session a day.
and if you don't mind, just I want a little bit more on this. So walk me through it. I'm struggling with anxiety, let's say, and
Mhm,
and I come to you, and is that how would that cow help me?
mhm. So I work with the client, Dave, just around calming, around breathing, around grounding. After we've developed all of those strategies, then we go in the pasture, and it's amazing to see a client just interact with her. Just the connection. She's a 1,400 pound cow. So it's just amazing to be beside her, to feel her warmth, and she's very intuitive and willing to interact with you as a client. And I've had many clients that have had a good response from her, and their joy every session is the time when we can go in the pasture.
Let's talk about this time of year because, like you said, new beginnings. It's spring. I love to get outside and just enjoy my trails and just walk. I find that's very therapeutic, and I know you think the same way. Why does nature do that to us? What is it? What
hmm
grabs us and gets our spirits going again?
hmm Well, it's actually called biophilia. It's our innate tendency to just seek connection with nature. And some of us do that really well, and other of us are on a learning journey where we're learning about that. And it's one of the blessings. Yes, you like going for a walk in the woods, and so do I. Having the trails right by the property allows us to walk and talk and really connect as we have some of our sessions.
And you said for some of us, but for other folks, that's a hard journey. Like, is it hard to sort of feel nature or be in nature?
It is because everyone experiences it differently. So I have Adirondack chairs kind of near the edge of the woods, right out in the pasture. Everybody has a different kind of comfort level with being outside and being in nature. So I find every client, I give them an option. Where do you want to be today? Where are you at today? And there's also people who are just afraid to go in the woods, which you and I like walking in the woods. Some people don't. So then it's a desensitization to where they're wanting to do that or willing to do that or have purpose to do that.
And one of the things that you've told me over our time doing these is there's no phones. So it really is when you're within your sitting in the Adirondacks and enjoying the day, it's taking away all that clutter, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And that's why I called myself Purposely Unplugged. So literally, it's that connection. As soon as a client comes in, what does it take for you to unplug right now? Because we all carry mental stress, we all carry stresses throughout the day, and it's a really good opportunity just to clear that, take a breath, ground before we start our sessions.
Now, and is it as simple as just saying to someone, just go for a walk, leave your phone and just walk around the block, do something that sort of, I don't know, does it help clear your mind? Like we should be doing this every day, shouldn't we?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's David Suzuki that's actually suggested that. May is a challenge from David Suzuki that 30 minutes a day for 30 days, the month of May, that we all get outside, we all connect. And yes, it's possibly just to put away your phone. So it's really this grounding. Notice the things around you, hear the birds, touch the soil, smell the soil. Smell, I mean, some of the pictures you're uploading today are even the pictures of the moss as it's growing around the base of the trees. And the other picture too is just the whole woods is full right now with the growth of the trilliums. Within another few weeks, those it's going to be a sea of white in the section of woods that I work in. And it's just such a blessing not only to see that, but to experience as growth is coming back to the earth around us.
It grounds people too because it reminds us of the cycles, like the
Mm-hmm.
cycle of life, the cycle of everything. But it always comes back, and maybe it comes back more vibrant, more stronger. And I think that's a great analogy to use for folks that maybe are struggling a little bit. You can come back, you can get stronger, and you can, accomplish what you set out to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just quickly, can you tell me a little bit about the diversity of the folks that you work with? Because I don't think people understand that you help a large section of people from kids right to seniors. So talk a little bit about that if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm. I am lucky in that I do work with a lot of young people and I do work with adults. I do work with couples as well. So coming through the training I've got has given me the diversity to see from different perspectives and to connect in different ways. And when I work with a young person, Dave, I'm just so glad that they're there. I get the chance to say, you're learning things that other people don't learn till they're 30 or 40 years old. And they kind of just smile a little bit. And vice versa, even if I'm working with someone in an adult stage, there's always room to just shift and change, develop. And I think intentional is a word that was really on my mind. Anything that we do with purpose, anything that's deliberate. And that's really the pleasure of the job that I have. I get to work with people as they're intentionally making some shifts in their life.
Do we get, I like what you said there because about change and all that, but do we get so locked into routines that aren't healthy for us that we can't, is that what causes us to struggle to change?
Usually. And I think one of the other things that happened, Dave, we're still coming out of COVID. What I found last year is people were having their first barbecues, their first get togethers, their first Christmas gatherings with family. We came through this year of firsts, and now we're embarking on our second kind of year. And this is where people are saying, I had some bad habits, I had some good habits. I have some habits now that I really don't want to keep. And so now is this time when some people are saying, I need to let go of that. I want to change that. It's healthy for me to think of this in a different way.
It's interesting, isn't it? That the pandemic, just the lingering effect is going to be so long and we don't really understand it. And we're just starting sort of now to see the reverb, right, from it all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's what I'm seeing for sure. And those conversations are just important to have as a grounding spot, as a place to begin, and then a place to grow and to move forward, which is really what today's session was about.
I got lots of questions, but I know you, I know you've got other folks to help. How can people get a hold of you? What's your website, email, telephone number? Can you give us all that?
Mm-hmm. Website is purposefullyunplugged.com and email is Lori at purposefullyunplugged.com and phone is 226-934-7425. And
This is
Dave,
my
one of the
last.
things, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you finish.
One of the things I really believe is just a conversation to reach out to see if there's a connection, to see if I'm the right therapist. If I'm not, I'm happy to help people find the right connection because often as therapists, we're referring back and forth to each other.
That was my next question. You read my mind. I was going to ask that because I think sometimes we're initially afraid to take that first step, to make that call. Maybe it's financial, maybe there's other burdens in our life and we're not there yet, but they can actually just give you a call and talk for a couple minutes and see where the groundwork lies to see what they can do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't hurt to call.
It's absolutely my pleasure. And in fact, that's what the website indicates. Start the conversation. Reach out and
Start the
just start the
conversation.
conversation.
Thanks, Lori, for doing this today. I always have fun with our chats, and it's always interesting. I always learn something. So I appreciate you taking the time to do these.
Wonderful. Have a good day.